All right, you guys. I'm not sure what I'm getting myself into here, but we'll find out. I over at the GOOSH, our Patreon. I just made a post a little bit ago. I told everybody they can ask me anything they want, anything at all, and I will answer it. So, and then I'll run through those questions. If we have time for more, I'll keep refreshing the page. And no matter what you ask, I will give you an answer of some sort. I'll answer it as best I can. Hi, Chrome. Good to see you. Now, I probably should. I'm trying to remember the way. Yeah, I got to go to the bottom of the list first. Yeah, because it. So hold on. We got to start down here. Yeah, got to start down here because those are the ones that came in first. Let me just let some of the folks get in. Here, Zay is in. Big Green's here. Shooter's here. Crystal Coachman's in. All right, let's hop right into it because anybody wants to review questions, they can always rewind this. First one that came in, move this. What do you do for a career? Well, obviously, I do this now. Um, the job I retired from was working for a municipality in upstate New York. I was in the transportation department for a number of years, and then for a vast majority of the time, I was in the public works department. I was a truck driver, laborer at different times. Nothing exciting. What languages do you speak? Barely English. If only English, what languages would you like to learn? Um, At my age, I'm not going to be pursuing learning any. If I did, it would be Japanese because I really would like to go to Japan someday. I don't know if it'll ever happen. But if I were to try and learn one, it would be Japanese. When I was younger, I wasn't super fluent, but I could have a conversation in American Sign Language because my oldest daughter is hearing impaired. But now it's been so many years since I used it, I wouldn't even be able to know what where to begin. And Jagerbaum farted on a duck. um, and where have you traveled? Where would you like to travel? Pretty much all over the United States. But I just answered that. As far as anything that I have on a bucket list, it would be Japan. Okay, now this one's from Tyrone. Wait, well, hold on. Let me check in here too before on our live chat here. I'm having trouble getting used to me having hair too, Spazdev. Like I said, I'm going to let the top grow in all the way and see how it looks. I don't know if I'll keep it or not. It's obviously going to be, salt and pepper. I can start to see it. Looks like there is still a little bit of red tint to it as it's coming in and a lot of gray down by the sides. Excuse me. Is it balding in the back? No, I've had a slight bald spot right here. Yeah, I guess it'd be the back, just off the top of my head. But I've had that there for years, and some of it's due to scarring. I got several scars back there from wayward chair shots and shit. Yeah, we won't really know the real color, I guess, for another few weeks probably till it grows in more. All right, now let's go back here. Tyrone Wayne says, over the years of reacting to anime, do you ever feel like you've watched most everything worth watching? No, because the opposite is true. In getting into anime, I am stunned, blown away by how many options there are out there. I never imagined there were this many anime out there to watch. So no, quite the opposite. Anime can be really redundant in some areas, isekai, etc. I still love watching anime, but there's only so many original ideas and works. Well, that's true in anything. Whether it's movies, TV, there's such a legacy of entertainment that's already come along. Pretty much everything is inspired by something else, but no. I'm constantly amazed that with watching anime that I get a story regularly still at the Goosh. We get stories that I'm just blown away by. Left and right. It never stops amazing me. That I was just watching A Place Further Than the Universe the other day. Never seen a story like that in any form of media before. Shauno says, I thought it was your twin or something. Almost didn't recognize you with the hair. 309 Wolf says, is the Goosh free yet? Why, was there a time frame on it when it was going free? The day the Goosh goes free, I would say within 3 days it would be shut down. There's a reason that everything has to be kept behind a paywall, and it's just because it's reaction videos. All right, let's go to the next one. Crizizzle85 says, would you rather fight one duck the size of a tiger or a tiger the size of a duck? Oh, I'd rather fight the duck the size of a tiger. Easily. Because with the tiger the size of the duck, some ducks are pretty decent size anyway. You're still dealing with those gnashing teeth and those claws. And as I told you guys, when I was a kid, those fucking ducks in Central Park in Schenectady, New York, where I spent a lot of my time, that's where my grandmother lived. My cousin and I would go up to that park, and those ducks and geese will attack you for no damn reason whatsoever. They're just psychopaths. They're assholes. So I don't care how big they get, I would still fight a duck and hopefully hurt that bitch. I hate ducks. They're stupid asses. And all their sex we learned is non-consensual, so they're also scumbags in that in that arena. Lambo says, what happened to you? You're just going to die in the end intros? I don't do intros anymore. YouTube has... here at the Goosh we do. Or not here. I keep forgetting because I'm reading off the Goosh. At the Patreon we do. At the Goosh we do. But they actually hurt your videos. Because the way YouTube does things now, they want you to have a good retention at the 30-second mark. Well, people, understandably, I mean, if you watch my videos, say, every day, people are going to start skipping past the intro. And then YouTube automatically dings you because somebody skipped past the intro. So we don't put them anymore. Yes, overall retention should be the way they do it, Chrome. Okay, Hamster Duct Tape says, has anyone really been far even as decided to use... Whoa, okay. Now, but for real, could you tell us a bit more about your career in kayfabe? I know you reference every once in a while, but what all did you get up to? Same with stand-up or any other interesting career paths you took before this whole YouTube thing. Well, I mean, that's kind of a broad, very broad question. I've got 1 million wrestling stories. I've got probably 500,000 stand-up stories. I couldn't go through all of them right now, so I'm not sure really how to answer that. I mean, if you had a specific question about something specific I had alluded to before or something, I'd be happy to answer it. But, I mean, I've got tons of stories from the years of entertainment in other fields. Reed McClellan says, what is your original name? Rusty Williams. Well, Russell Williams for everybody. When I was, still to this day, most people refer to me as Rusty rather than Russell, except my wife. She always called me Russ. But a lot more people. And I mean largely because of my internet presence, but probably at a rate of at least 100 to 1, more people know me as Curtis than anything else. I forgot, LL. Also, can you throw it back on stream? Just kidding. More queso reactions. We're doing questions about whatever in life and stuff. I'm not going to open up a whole can of worms of turning it into reaction video suggestions. Willie Plays asks, why did you do it, Curtis? Because the opportunity was there. If they didn't want me to do it, they should have had better security. All right, now let me refresh this and see if we've got any more. Alrighty. Okay. Joel says, do you think Walter fucked Frank behind Skylar's back? Yes. Let's go with yes. Just 'cause I think it adds more intrigue. Adolfo Cruz says, is 25 too old to start wrestling pro? No, absolutely not. Not even close. Okay, and then we're good over there. Chrome says, So, how much are you dreading me eventually sponsoring the Star Trek movie for, like, say, April Fools or a 1 hour loop or the Enterprise scene? Yeah, we don't. Well, obviously, we don't do movies in the G100s, but but the Enterprise scene, yeah. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, I had told Chrome and told everybody the only movie I have ever paid for a ticket to go see in the theater and walked out on was the original Star Trek movie. Because as soon as they started just panning, just going around and around and around the fucking Enterprise for what seemed like an eternity, and that was early in the movie too, I was like, get the fuck out of here. I walked out of the theater. I stopped down in the lobby. This is going way back, of course. Stopped down the lobby, played some of the, whatever, I don't remember if it was an actual video game or pinball. Whatever they had set up in the lobby, I played that for a little while and I went home. Big Green says, thankfully, I have not gone to a movie I disliked yet. Yeah, I've seen some others that I didn't really care for, but I've never walked out on any other than that Star Trek movie because I figured, hey, I paid for it. I'll suffer through and I'll eat popcorn, but I wasn't suffering through that stupidity. Wallace, where's Key and Peele and Squid Game? Key and Peele you can see on Comedy Central's channel on YouTube, and Squid Game you can see at Netflix. Ali says, hey Curtis, was there ever a point in your wrestling career that you hated or someone you hated? No, I loved every moment of wrestling. I just absolutely loved it. In the business, I wouldn't go so far as to say someone I hated. I'm trying to think back. No, nobody I hated. There were some people like any other workplace or just place where people socialize. There's some people I certainly didn't particularly care for. The closest I ever came to hating someone, and then it went away, and I'll tell you why, was, I don't know if you guys remember, it was one of the original Four Horsemen, Tully Blanchard. Because when I was first breaking in New Mexico, I went over to San Antonio, Texas to try out for the big time, which was Tully's dad's promotion, Joe Blanchard. Loved Joe. And Tully was just a complete dick to me. And so for the longest time, I had a real hard on about that, about him being such an asshole. But in hindsight, it's like, I was a greener. He didn't have to be a dick. I see guys all the time and they treat greeners very decently. There's no reason to be like that. But it's not something you held on to forever. And from what I've heard, I have not, if I had the opportunity to meet Tully again, I would. I'm sure he was not going to remember me. This would have been 1981. But I would to catch up with him again. But a bunch of guys that I know in the business have interactions with him, have had and still have interactions with him, say he's changed a lot. And even he admits to having changed a lot. Mintman says, San Antonio native here, we miss you. Oh, Mintman. I got there. It was either Cinco de Mayo or May 1st. It was either May Day or Cinco de Mayo parade. I was there the weekend for that. And I remember they were expecting big problems because the Ku Klux Klan, this is going back early 80s, very early 80s, had said that they were going to march in the parade as well. I think it was Cinco de Mayo. And of course that didn't fly. So I was there on a really poppin' weekend too. And it was hot as fuck. I remember that. And there was no air conditioning and almost no air in the gym we were working out in too. Danger Dave says, I was thinking of starting the One Piece anime. Any advice or suggestions you have when going to watch the show? Is it worth investing the time to watch 1,000+ episodes? 100%. Excuse me. Absolutely amazing story. Phenomenal characters. I am somebody who's a big nerd for stories about the power of friendship. I know that's corny, but I like it. And standing up and standing by the people that are important to you, and everything about it is just so good. Let's see. Oh yeah, I see where we're getting a whole bunch of emojis there. Yeah. No, you guys did the right thing. Just get rid of them. I mean, we're not here to give attention to the needy. Jay says, will there be more movie reaction polls in the future? I don't know because the movies have not done well. Certainly not well enough at the YouTube channels, and those were actually for the YouTube channel. And I would post the watch along version at the GOOSH at our Patreon. But with the many, many, many hours it takes to edit them, they're just not worth the time to post over there. Now, that leaves me in a tough spot because, like, I want to see Sonic 3 really bad. So I'm going to try at some point be able to fit in watching it and post the watch-along version over at the GOOSH at our Patreon. But no, I can't see putting the time in on those edits when there's just not a lot of interest in them. Yeah, Danger Dave, One Piece is just amazing. Gabriel says, hey, Curtis, any plans on doing a Pokemon game for a stream? No, not currently. A few years ago, Team 4-Star did something called a Nuzlocke playthrough, and it was hysterical. If you did something similar, I'm sure the Goose would love. I don't even know what a Nuzlocke playthrough would be. Yeah, like I say, Big Green, I'm not going to invest. Well, you guys saw how long it took me. It took me like 2 weeks to find enough time, because when I do a movie, it's added on to everything else I do every day. So when I do the edit for YouTube, I just fit it in wherever I can. Wherever I've got a few minutes during the day, I'll go edit some more. Then I'll go edit some more. It's just little bits and pieces. It was about 2 weeks, and there just wasn't much of any interest in it. And like I say, I'm still going to see the movies, but I just try. There's a lot of things I enjoy watching. I can't see doing something like that. And literally, in the amount of time it takes to edit those, I could have posted over half a dozen other videos to the channels that everybody does like. Chrome says, do you think you could take Ash in a fight, both with his Pokemon and without? Remembering Ash is freakishly strong and can take a hit. The Pokemon don't scare me all that much, only because, if you think about it, Chrome, how often does the gang get hit with, like, Pikachu's electric shocks? And they all get they get the charcoal coating and they look annoyed, but it certainly isn't enough to make you afraid of it. So could I take him in a fight? I don't know. I also can take a hit. I've got plenty of videotape to back that up. Yeah, I'd fight Ash, sure. What is he, 12? Yeah, I'll fight that 12-year-old. Rudy Gonzalez says, hey, Curtis, Mintman here. Oh, okay, Mintman. Often people say not to compare themselves to others, but that's easier said than done for a lot of folks. True, especially in the world of streaming and value being placed on number of viewers, etc. How do you steer clear of that negative mentality? Oh, that part's easy for me, because as long as I'm having fun and however many people are here, right now it's 31. These 31 people here are having a good time. I'm happy doing this. I'm very happy doing it. And having the GOOSH, having our Patreon, supports me enough that I'm able to do this every day. I couldn't be happier than that. Is it fun when we get bigger crowds in? Sure. But does it really matter? No, it's the same thing as in my wrestling career. I told you guys before, I would go off on guys if we showed up to do a wrestling show and there's 15 people out there. And if I heard somebody talking about, well, I ain't going to do this spot and I'm not going to do that spot and I ain't risking that for 15 people, that drove me fucking insane. Because each one of those 15 people paid for a ticket to get in and see you do your shit. You get out there and you do your shit. That it's not their fault that the promoter didn't promote that show well. That stuff drove me nuts. So no, that doesn't. That's easy. It's not hard for me to deal with at all. Tom says, would you rather be a Viltrumite or a Saiyan? A Saiyan. There's just they're both badass, but there's just too much more lore that I love in being a Saiyan. I'm gooshin'. Danger Dave says, I honestly just love how authentic you are, Curtis. No bullshit, just up front with a great sense of humor. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I've always told you the one thing I can always guarantee you guys is I'll be honest with you. You see all the YouTubers and stuff, and they're mostly younger and fall into the failings of feeling really good about themselves because they feel like they're online celebrities. But they fall into so many traps for basically doing things where they're not who they purport to be. And the easiest way to make sure that never happens to you is don't be anybody other than who you are. It's a pretty simple thing, really. Chrome says, well, you say that, but humans and Pokemon are genuinely Dragon Ball strong at times. Yeah, but you got to remember, Chrome, I can only base my opinion on what I've seen in Pokemon so far. I can't make a call on something I haven't, based on something I haven't seen yet. Shauna says, one clip I uploaded of Herbert the Pervert having a stroke on AI Family Guy somehow got almost 120K views. It's weird, isn't it? It's so weird. And Mythmaster says, if editing is your one big bottleneck, why not hire an editor? Nope. To be honest, I had not the slightest clue what would cost. Could more content offset the cost? And no, on the second one, because as I said, the movies aren't posting because nobody's interested. If nobody's interested, they're not offsetting any costs. And the only person I will ever hand off editing to is sometimes Brax, or if my wife learned to edit, I would let her help me with it. But the videos are too important to me. And I will be watching a movie or a long form show, whatever it may be. And in my head, if it's going to YouTube, I'm thinking as it goes like, oh man, the YouTube gang's going to love that. I got to make sure that stays in. Well, an editor is not going to know that. So no, I would never do that. Chrome says, how is Mrs. Spaz with computers? Completely illiterate. And that's not a put down. She would agree. She knows that's the case. All right. Let me get back to where we were. We saw that one. Big Purple Pop says, I'm young and going through the worst of it in life, so I've been told by professionals. Not going to burden with the details, but any advice for staying so upbeat? For me, I stay upbeat. It sounds like an oversimplification, and that could be just because I'm a simple person. But for me, it's always been, for all my adult life, and even as a kid, I think it dawned on me that life is really short. When you think about it, the amount of time you get to spend in this existence is not even the blink of an eye against the backdrop of the cosmos. Why not spend it being happy? I'm always looking. That's why I always say I would never make I feel I make a good reactor. I wouldn't make a good reviewer because I go into everything. Anything I watch, anything I partake in, I go in wanting it to be good, looking for the good elements in it. Because why not? Why look for stuff that's going to make you disappointed? So I'm not a person of faith. So my belief structure is it's just stunningly amazing. The fact that we exist on this planet is such a tremendous, insane beating of the odds that you might as well enjoy it while you're here. I have down days too, don't get me wrong, absolutely. And there are things that will take anybody down. You lose a loved one or something like that. But in general, that's my general outlook. Willie says, what is the most visually spectacular fight you've seen as of yet in anime? Again, any best of questions, Willie, are tough for me because of my memory. And I've seen so many anime now. And if I tried to give you an answer, I can almost guarantee that as soon as the stream was over, I'll think of something else and say, oh no, that one was even better. So I don't even bother trying to figure them out. Are you going to react to the Hobbit movies at some point? You may not have been. Well, Rex posted that a while ago. You may not have been seeing the stream. I don't know. Movies, at least for now, unless I think there's been a change of some sort in what people at the channels will enjoy, and mainly it's Grandpa Curtis Reacts because that's where I'm putting most all the reactions now. Unless something changes there, any movies that come in will be here at the Goosh, and they'll be the watch along ones. If there's something I really need to see, I'll watch it. And making the watch along version for the Goosh is nothing. It takes a few minutes because all I do is, all I have to do is have the camera on me and I add a timer to it, sync it up with where I started the movie and add the timer. But to make them for YouTube is just people aren't into them enough to make it worth all the time they take. Chrome says, I'm not sure if you've ever stated it, as far as I can remember at least, but since you're a Disney fan, favorite animated Disney film? Well, if it's, if you're including obviously Pixar, Disney Pixar, it would be now it's the four Toy Story movies. And of those three is my favorite. Now, it's either them or Up. Because Up is like my wife's and my movie. That's the one that we both just adore. Mr. Mego says, would you have rather wrestled for WWF, WCW, or ECW? I never tried to go big time because when I did go down to San Antonio and met Joe Blanchard, and I learned how many days a year that wrestlers are on the road, and old man Joe told me, he said, typically speaking, if you're a wrestler, you can have a family or you can have a career, because if you're successful at one, you won't be successful at the other. And that's why I decided to stay in the indies and, have my family. But all that said, it would probably be WWF just because that's what I grew up with. I grew up with the WWF and San Martino and Chief Jay Strongbow and all those guys. And it was cool because, I got to meet a lot of them. Back when the Wrestling Hall of Fame was in Amsterdam, New York, every year when the legends would come in for the inductions and stuff, I would take a bunch of the wrestlers out to breakfast in this little diner that was right behind the Hall of Fame. And George the Animal Steele, before he passed, he was a big contributor to the Hall of Fame, so he was always there. So, I got to sit and shoot the shit with a lot of the greats. Dakota says, when are we getting the H. John Benjamin duo shows, Archer Bob's Burgers, back on the Goosh or YouTube? They're further down the list because we had polls at the Goosh about them before, and they finished well below the others. They finished below The Office. They finished below Futurama. So at that $1 level where we keep rotating things in, it'll be a little bit. And that was just by the selection process of the Gooshers. And Reed says, ooh, you're using light mode. Well, that's an easy one to answer. Yes. that was the easiest answer so far. Jay says, rank these comedians worst to best. Bernie Mac, Eddie Murphy, Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle. Oh, none of them are worse. But as far as for my sense of humor, and there's nothing more subjective than sense of humor, from bottom to top, it would be Louis C.K., Bernie Mac, Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle. Danger Dave says, what was your wrestling name? Curtis Candy. That's how I'm known as Curtis, is because the Curtis Candy character gimmick was a character I grew to really like, and so I just held on to that for anything I do in entertainment. My favorite wrestling story, I've got a bunch of different wrestling stories. I enjoy telling the story of probably my favorite all-time match, which is a match I lost, but I got to really pay it off for a fan, and I thought that was cool. I love the story of when I was playing the hardcore heel, the young man who came up to me and asked for an autograph, even though he was terrified to do so. And the funny thing is, that question came from Danger Dave. The night in question when that happened, I was riding with my best friend in the business who wrestled as Danger, and his real name was Dave. Let me check over here too. Big Green says, yeah, WWE superstars wrestle 400 days in a single year. That's what Hogan told me that he wrestled. Yeah, I'm sure Hogan would have told you that too. Their schedule is not as brutal as it used to be, but it's still rough. But it's nothing like what it was. Yeah, that is a coincidence. That's 100% true. I've told you guys that story before. Big Green, you've heard it. The story outside the house we were wrestling in, and the kid nutting up and coming to ask me for an autograph. And I've told you guys that I was riding with my best friend, and he had moved on ahead because he was a face, now as a heel, and that he wrestled as Danger, and his real first name was Dave. Chrome says, I can respect that. I love both Toy Story and Up as well. I might prefer Toy Story 3 over 2, though. The 3 is my favorite. In order, the Toy Story movies for me go 3, 1, 4, 2. Big Purple Pop says, all right, peace, chat. Those Futurama reacts looking real fine. Well, thanks for being in, Pops. Yeah, you guys can always vote in Better Call Saul. I'd be fine with that. See, the thing is, when it's the daily videos like you guys see now, we have Game of Thrones going now. If they're the longer form videos, if they're not the typical 20 to 24 minute videos, I have to split them in half because, again, you guys wouldn't believe how militarily fine my schedule is set up, and that's just to be able to do everything I want to do as far as posting videos every month. And the mornings when I do the main 3 videos or the daily 3 videos at the GOOSH, I get up. I've told you guys that one of the reasons I get up at 5:15 is I need the whole day to get everything done, but also I don't want to be bothered. I get up before anybody else is up and about. Nobody's bothering me. I want to get those videos done. So that's all the time I have. So I have to split them in half. So I want to watch the rest of Squid Game. I'm not going to post them to YouTube because for whatever reason, out of the blue, we posted the whole first season. And then, oh no, did that go to YouTube? Regardless, everybody has been posting season 2 of Squid Game. I posted episode 1 and 2, and 1 just got blocked. So again, I'm not going to go through a lot of editing just to have them block it. But I want to see it. But I don't want to put that one in until we finish Game of Thrones because I don't want 2 shows a day that I'm splitting in half. YouTube works in really mysterious ways. Now, oh shit, how did that just, okay, it just dropped down on me. Captain Rex, why is this whole thing keeps dropping down on me? Captain Rex says, I'm watching the Lord of the Rings reactions and loving it. Oh, Lord of the Rings was so good. I love to see you do the Hobbit movies too. Again, it's, movies at least right now are not going to be going up at YouTube. So, and I wouldn't do them if I couldn't do reactions to them because I know everybody would like to see them. I'd like to see the Hobbit movies myself. Excuse me. But Lord of the Rings shocked me that it was so good that it took over as my favorite movie trilogy ever. That had been Toy Story, the first 3 Toy Stories. It was better for me than even them, than the 3 Rockies, than the first 3 Star Wars movies, all these trilogies that I loved. Tom Robinson says, I know you're a big Queen fan, And I was asking this question to a few friends of mine, and I was curious what you thought. Do you think Queen would be as successful now as they were back in the day? I believe certain songs like Bohemian Rhapsody would do well, but songs like Killer Queen are too slow for modern standards. Would love to know your thoughts. Love your videos. Well, thanks, Tom. I appreciate that. I'm biased. My honest opinion is yes, I think they would still be big, just because they have such a unique sound, and Freddie Mercury's voice is just so ridiculous. So I fully admit it could just be my leanings, my inner Queen nerd talking, but no, I still think they would be big. As long as Freddie Mercury's involved, I think they would. Kaiju, you saw Sonic 3? Did you? I do want to see that. Yeah, Lord of the Rings is just that good. That storytelling was unbelievable. Just incredible. Let's see. Danger Day says um even if we got BCS once a week. BCS. Better Call Saul. Split it up. I'd be down. Well, we don't have any once a week spots, Dave. We have the 3 daily videos that everybody votes in, and then all the rest of the spots are taken by G100 videos and G100 gaming and things along those lines here. And then I have all the videos I do and the live streams I like to do at the YouTube channels. Gimster says, okay, so you're saying that we should team up and force you to react to multiple movies a day. Let's go. Brandon says, hey, Curtis, been watching for 5 or 6 years now. Love what you do. Keep it up. Thanks. I appreciate that. All right, let's refresh once more. And see what we get now. All right. Jiggy, good to see you, pal. Jiggy says, hey, Curtis, over the years I followed your channel. You've watched a ton of great anime. I'm curious, what's your personal favorite anime genre? See, genre is always a tough one for me, Jiggy. And not just in anime and anything. Because I've always said, and it's always been my way, again, it comes back to being the type that just looks for something to enjoy. Or looks for the good in something. I will watch anything if it's a good story. I'm big on story. So if it's a good story, I will watch anything. Genre doesn't really matter to me. Excuse me. Obviously, shonen is something I've seen a lot of. And with Hunter x Hunter and One Piece being up there in my elite tier, along with several others in different genres, I guess you could go that route. But genre doesn't really matter to me at all. I'm shocked by how much I've grown to love slice of life anime. The storytelling in slice of life has been nuts. Hell, the magical girl anime we've seen now, I would have bet you money I would not have been into anything in a genre called magical girl, but they've been great. They've been really good stories. Cardcaptor Sakura, for instance, I mean, that was phenomenal. What a bunch of fun that was. Chrome says, is there anything you, well, maybe not dread, but are concerned about eventually getting sponsored or winning a poll? Say, for instance, something like Boruto that could damage your memories of Naruto, or say Ruby that could cause legal issues from Rooster being trolls. No, there's definitely nothing I dread. If I had a serious concern about something getting hit with copyright, I would just unfortunately, I'd have to let the Gooshers know and say, listen, let's say Ruby, for instance. I'd have to say, I can't put Ruby in a poll. We can't take the chance on opening up that can of worms here at the Goosh. And, well, you know our gang, Chrome. Everybody's always cool about everything. So I wouldn't say I dread that, because that I would just cut off and say, no, we can't do that. But as far as something winning, no. I mean, if enough of you guys thought Boruto was good enough that it deserves a spot above all the other things that are on, any one of our given polls. I'll give it a go. The 2006 version of Berserk would cause me dread, or Jimmy Dub. Oh, the Jimmy Dub. Or 2016, yeah. The Jimmy Dub. I don't think we'd ever have to worry about Berserk because we saw, what was that one, 97? But we saw the earlier Berserk already. So I don't think there'll ever be any clamoring to see the updated inferior one. Madoka Magica, yeah, that was good too, Chrome. That one really shocked me how dark that was too. Dave says, I just finished DB and DBZ and I'm burnt out on Shonen. Yeah, so you just take a break and hit something else, something entirely different. Do a Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid or something now. Just get away from that. Kaiser says, can thank me for Mecha. Yeah, I hadn't watched any real Mecha until Kaiser started sponsoring them. And now I've seen a bunch of Mecha because not only has Kaiser sponsored several, but other Gooshers have seen Kaiser sponsoring them. They've sponsored some Mecha too. I wouldn't mind Higurashi Season 2 at all, Gimster. Wouldn't mind that one at all. Like I said, I had a good time with Higurashi. A good, creepy time. Chrome says, right, time to sponsor 4Kids One Piece. Oh, jeez. The only thing I can say there is that's one of those things that at least watching that would have the same appeal if you go on YouTube and watch videos about car wrecks or something, that everybody's sometimes has that very maudlin interest in something. Danger Dave, have you seen Trigun? Yes, I have. You should be able to just search it right up here. Let me double check for you, Dave. Let me see. Oh, shoot, I can't use that tab. It'll just blank out on you. Use this one. Okay. That was a while ago we watched Trigun. Come on, Curtis, you can spell. Yep, back in 2020 we were watching that. Just search up Trigun at the GOOSH or Yep. Okay, I just want to make sure I said it right. Yeah, just search up Trigun at the GOOSH, comes right up. And Mr. Mego says, do you remember the video you saw about Hogan talking shit about Foley in 2002? Yep. Not defending Hogan, obviously, but it did at least apologize to Foley about it. Yeah, I saw that. Somebody else had brought that up to me, so I saw that video where he apologized. Now, Hogan just... And the thing that's really odd about Hogan is he's obviously one of the... like him or dislike him, he's one of the biggest names in the history of the business. One of the true legends of the business. Why do you feel the need to lie about shit? You had a brilliant enough career that, one of the most popular wrestlers ever. You don't need to lie about stuff. You could just tell the true stories of what went on. Andy says, have you been to Manny's Steakhouse? No. No, I don't know where that... I'm not familiar with that one. Chrome said, I would like to sponsor the rest of Sailor Moon eventually, but I have two big series to sponsor for now, right? Maybe if we catch up with Ranma before Season 2 starts, I'm able to get DS9 on the poll. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see, Chrome. You've seen yourself, whenever something has been sponsored for a while, it does tend to give it a little bit of a bump when it comes time for polls. It's perfect time though, Chrome. I'll answer yours and then I'm just gonna delete this thread over at the GOOSH because we're starting to wind down anyway. And I'll just take some of the questions from you guys here. But Chrome says, Dang, we're running long comments. Think fast. When the One Piece remake comes out, we just stick on as a continuation of the current One Piece reactions or wait for it to be sponsored? Could be the second one by default because I'm perfectly happy to put it up as a continuation. But there's so many things that I want to put in those slots, including finishing up Futurama and everything, that it'll probably be a while. It could potentially win a poll before it gets its turn. Okay. All right. Let me pull this window down. And we'll delete that post. Okay. All right, gang. Now we're all set. Hi, Marty. Oh, good. I'm glad you're able to pop in. I don't know what we're gonna do. Our next stream, you know what I found I enjoyed doing in the streams. We only did it the once, but it was a good time. Is having one of those a video play where we can pause and comment on it. I mean, it's obviously it's like a traditional reaction, but it's cool because the interaction is live. I'm thinking of maybe doing that with some Family Guy stuff because all of us love Family Guy, and I've still got that long compilation vid bookmarked that's Family Guy offensive moments. I was thinking about doing that as one of them. Oh, what stream was cringy though? Big Green. I don't know which one you mean. The one. What did we do in that stream? It was something about. Gee, I thought if it's the one I'm thinking of, I thought that stream was a good time. Oh, the ghost video stream. Oh, that's right. We did two. That's right. Yeah, that video was not good. That's right. I forgot we had done two because we had done one before that. That was a good time. The ghost video stream was very forgettable. Yeah, 100%. I think that was the content. It was nothing, as I said at the time, I was hoping to see something that would take a non-believer like me and hit me with stuff that's so shocking that it could even make me me question whether or not ghosts exist. And that's not what happened. I can look it up for you, Big Green. What was the other one? It was woke people making fools of themselves. That one was a lot of fun. We had a bunch of laughs in that one. Big Green says that's what you get for clicking on a Chills video. Yeah, I wouldn't. And again, I don't like to put anybody's channel down, but that nothing wrong with this video. He puts his videos together fine. If you're into that type of stuff, you'll have a good time. But now for me, I wouldn't do another. Do I know about Dragon Ball Daima? Of course, Mago. Chrome says I might have a video like that for you soon. There's a real political nut I can show. All right. Yeah, I enjoy those. That was a lot of fun, having those clip videos that we can discuss what we saw in real time. Disney adults reaction. Good old Papa Meat. He's such a piece of work. All right, guys. Well, I got to go. It's late here. I just wanted to pop in and do this because we haven't done it, Ask Me Anything stream in a long time, and I thought that would be a fun way to do one is like this. With having the Gooshers able to ask any question they wanted. Be doing more streams coming up. That's probably, we'll go with a lot of the streams. Well, every Tuesday and Wednesday will be the reaction video streams because those are just an absolute fucking riot. I just love those. But aside from that, I think what we'll do with a lot of those streams is just what I was saying, where we'll have a video to play that we can react to in real time, and that way all of us can share the reaction together. But yeah, this is fun. This is a good time, and I'll be doing the straight up every so often. The straight up ask me anything streams like we've always done. Okay, thanks guys. That's a lot of talking for me, and you know how it is. Words are hard, especially when you get to be my age, and with all my brain damage, and with all my brain damage. All right, you guys. I'll talk to y'all real soon.